Hey guys, it's Shannon with True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, you'll notice that I do not have my infamous backdrop that I normally do. I mentioned on my last video that I would be dog sitting at a friend's house this weekend, so this is where I'm at. I'm trying to find a spot to do these videos, and I apologize if the angling is really strange or the lighting's really strange. So I'm gonna see how this goes and hopefully I can get this info out. I wanted to get you guys updated on the Nadia Montgomery situation because I haven't caught up to that, and then hopefully this weekend I'll also do another update on the on poor little Tommy. But before I get into today's video topic, I always like to feature a missing person on the channel. So let me pull up today's missing persons poster. Okay, today's missing person is going to be Nadia Lee out of Houston, Texas. This is a 2-year-old who is about 2 feet and 5 inches high, black hair, brown eyes. It states that she's also endangered. Nadia Lee, too, was last seen near the 300 block South Ritchie Street in Pasadena, Texas on 10/16 of 2022 at about 8 p.m. It is unknown what clothing she was wearing, but it's possible it was a white short sleeve t-shirt at the time of her disappearance. They're asking if you have any information to contact the Houston Police Department at 713-308-3600, or you can contact the detective, one of the 2 detectives working the case directly. Looks like there's Detective Roberts or Detective Lang at 713-308-3600. And of course, as always, you can always call 911. Again, if you have any information on this missing 2-year-old out of Houston, Texas, please do contact the authorities. And today's topic is going to be Teardrop, aka Nadia Montgomery, or you could reverse that and say Nadia Montgomery, aka Teardrop. But I prefer to call him Teardrop. That's been mentioned before, and let's just go with it. So I have had a couple updates on him. I haven't been sharing just yet. I believe last week, or it was early this week, with all the other stuff going on, I didn't get this updated. It was about earlier this month. There was body cam footage released, as well as interview footage released between police and Nadia Montgomery, and we definitely need to go over that. And also, he was in court yesterday on ruling on a lot of things, so we're going to also cover that as well. And this is the affiliate out of New Hampshire, WMUR. They've covered the Harmony Montgomery case extensively from the get-go. So this is definitely a great resource on this case. And I will also link to their article and video here. It states, body cam footage shows interaction between police and Nadia Montgomery. Footage shows police questioning Montgomery about his missing daughter. All right. So here's what the article has to say. Body cam footage obtained by News 9 Investigates shows the first interactions between Manchester police and Nadia Montgomery, the father of Harmony Montgomery, who has not been seen since 2019 and is presumed deceased. In the video, Nadia Montgomery is questioned about his daughter's whereabouts. Audio from the recordings was first heard during a hearing for Nadia Montgomery last week, but News 9 has requested the full video. Okay, guys, I apologize if you hear dogs. Again, I am house sitting my friend's dog, so hopefully it's not too disruptive to the hopefully it's not too disruptive here. And they seem to like to hang out right near you. So, all right. The video was taken on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police first announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony. It shows officers locating her father in a parked car in Wolf Park in Manchester. In the body cam video, officers ask Nadia Montgomery about his daughter's whereabouts, to which he replies, "I have nothing to say." Well, gee, Teardrop, you think he might know where your daughter is or care? I don't think he cares or has any. I think he knows where she is. I think he knows, sadly, where her remains are, because at this point we all believe that she's no longer with us. But he doesn't care. He really doesn't. Let's see. "We just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about," Manchester Detective John Dunleavy said in the video. "You're not in any trouble right now that I know of. You don't have any warrants. So where's your daughter so that we can check on her to make sure she's okay?" The interaction lasted about 45 minutes before Nadia Montgomery was sent on his way. Police tracked him down later that day and served him with a court order that forces him to provide information about Harmony's whereabouts. Right now, I have nothing to say to you guys, Adam Montgomery replies. I have nothing to say. 5 days later, Montgomery was arrested on charges for allegedly abusing Harmony. The video was evidence in a hearing last week in which lawyers for Adam Montgomery asked a judge to suppress statements he made to officers on that day. They said he repeatedly told detectives that he did not want to talk to them, but detectives continued to question him. Adam Montgomery is not charged in the connection with Harmony's disappearance and presumed deceased. He's facing charges of second-degree assault, interference with custody, and endangering the welfare of a child. So this would be the body cam footage, and let me pull this back up here, and I will play that for those of you that have not seen the body cam footage. And we're going to go through this and the interview stuff, and then we will get up to date on his court appearance this week here. So here is the body cam footage.
What's your name, my man?
What?
Adam.
This police body cam video obtained by News 9 Investigates was taken on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony Montgomery.
On top of your head.
What's going on now?
This was the first interaction between Adam Montgomery and Manchester police after officers located him sleeping in a car in Manchester's Wolf Park. In the video, officers ask Montgomery about his daughter's whereabouts.
You just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. You're not in any trouble right now that I know of. Okay. You have no warrants. Okay. So, where's your daughter so we can check on her to make sure that she's okay?
Right now, I have nothing to say to you guys.
But that's not what I'm just asking where she is.
I have nothing to say.
The interaction lasts about 45 minutes before Montgomery is sent on his way. Police track Montgomery down again later that day, serving him with a court order to produce Harmony.
Some detectives want to speak with you. You're just being detained at this point.
5 days later, Montgomery is arrested on charges including second-degree assault for allegedly abusing Harmony. During an interview with detectives, Montgomery is asked several times about his daughter.
This isn't going to go anywhere. Like, this isn't going to stop. So,
no, I know it's not.
So,
So
either get on the bus now or get run over.
Well, I got nothing else to say.
And so Montgomery's lawyers argue that he repeatedly told police he did not want to speak with them, but detectives continued to question him, essentially violating his rights. Prosecutors have said that any statements Montgomery gave were done so voluntarily. A judge, by the way, has not decided if these recordings will be used in court.
Okay, so this is part one of his interrogation interview. Immediately, he asks for a cigarette. So let's check it out.
Cigarette? We might be able to work on that if you. We just turned this on. This is audio and video recorded. You alright with that? Nope. Okay. We'll do our best to try to get you the cigarette.
Yeah, we got cigarettes somewhere, so try to work on that, okay? Before we have any conversations, I'm just going to have you read something, okay? And then we'll just go from there. Just so you know, because you're under arrest right now, I have to read you this stuff, or you have to read it to me. Again, Detective Riley, Detective Dunleavy. It's January 4th, 2022. It's 8:55 p.m. You can read and write English, correct? Okay. So, Adam, I'm going to have you start from there, where it says I, and then I'm just going to have you read down.
I, Adam Montgomery, has a right to remain silent.
Well, start from here. I, Adam Montgomery,
Give the following voluntary statements. Detective Dunleavy, Detective Riley, who has identified himself as a member of the Manchester, New Hampshire Police Department. He has advised me the following of the right to remain silent. Anything I say can be used against me in the court of law. I have the right to a lawyer for advice before any questioning and to have one with me during questioning. If I cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to me by the court. I decided to answer questions now without my lawyer present. I still have the right to stop answering at any time. You understand? Yes.
Okay. Do you understand all of these 1 through 5?
Yep.
Okay. What I'm gonna have you do, just initial 1 through 5. That just indicates that you understand what I'm saying, all right?
Yep.
Notice they read him his rights. Well, he actually read them to himself, and he said he understands them, and he's initialing right and signing. So let's continue.
All right. Can you just read that line
You
for me?
understand each of these rights? Yep.
And you're gonna check either yes or no. All right. And then read the next line for me.
Are you willing to have each of these rights? And are you willing to waive each of these rights and answer questions? Sure.
Okay. Now, Adam, you're just gonna sign that line. All right. Appreciate it.
Before we go forward, can we get a cigarette in here?
So there's a sensor in there. So I'll work on getting you a cigarette at some point. I can't promise you one right now, just because the room we're in, and if this starts going off, I don't want to flood the building. You know what I mean?
Smoke detector ain't gonna go off.
That thing will, the sprinkler. So, but at some point we'll work on getting you. I know we have cigarettes in here. I know where they are. Okay, you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Do you need a water?
I don't need nothing.
You good? Okay. Are you okay?
No.
Basically, hey, you help us out a little bit, and we'll get you your little smoke stick. That's basically what the detectives are telling him.
Okay.
Okay. What's not okay?
Nothing. What's up?
All right. So I'm just gonna ask you some basic questions. You said you can read and write English, correct?
Sure.
All right. Can you just state your full name for me?
Adam Montgomery.
And Adam, what's your birthday?
12290.
And what address are you using to
I'm
call?
not using any.
Okay. What phone number are you using?
I don't have one.
Okay. What was the highest level of education?
GED.
Okay. Where'd you graduate high school from?
I did. I got a GED.
No, but I know. But where'd you get
While I
that?
was incarcerated.
Okay. Right now, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay. Do you have any traumatic brain injuries or anything like that? Anything that prohibits you from recalling any memories or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
All right. All right. So we've met before, right? We met the other day. I know you've had a long time down here. You've kind of been a roller coaster. I'm going to apologize for what happened out there. That's not how I do business, okay? That had nothing to do with me. Those are guys that like to play G.I. Joe, all right? If it had been up to me and I could have gotten a hold of you some way, I would have reached out to you. But you don't have a phone, right?
You guys could have just told my wife you wanted me to come in.
But aren't you not supposed to be talking to your wife?
No, that's bullshit.
It's not. You're not supposed to?
No, I can't be.
Thank you. Look at that.
I can't be.
I guess they're going to let you smoke a cigarette here. They must have talked to somebody.
He's sure anxious for that cigarette, isn't he? He just needs to have that cigarette.
So I don't know why who's saying I can't talk to my wife because that's bullshit.
Maybe it's some old paperwork that somebody saw.
Yeah, from last year, but it was over and done with after I got out of jail.
So that's all clear.
DCYF said it was cleared up, the police said it was cleared up, everybody said it was cleared. They said that there was no contact order between me and her.
Okay, and that's Kayla we're talking about. Okay. Well, you know, if that's the case, then that's my fault for maybe not checking a little bit further into it, so I apologize for that. Again, I apologize for the way things went down out there. Like I said, I'm not part of the SWAT team, I don't do that stuff. If I had had a good number for you, I would have just called you in, but I don't have you don't have a phone, you said, right? Okay. So I apologize for that. I do appreciate you being cooperative with me. You've never given me a hard time. I know we've only met a few times, so thank you for that. Let's talk about why we're here to talk.
Tell me what you want to say.
Tell me what you know.
I don't know nothing.
Well, what was our conversation about the other day?
You said you had a couple questions you wanted to ask me. You asked me the questions.
Well, what was our conversation about the other day? Remember we met, I mean, you remember that was only, what, a few days ago, right? We got a lot of worried people and scared people right now in the community. I know you're worried about the well-being of your daughter, and I kind of want to get ahead of this because I don't want you to be painted as a monster.
Well, that's what you guys are already doing.
I am?
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain that to me?
That's what you guys are already trying to do, man.
Explain to me how I'm trying to make you, or whoever is trying to make you out to be a monster. Who's telling you that stuff? Is there somebody that I work with that told you that? Somebody you're close with, that they told you that?
No.
All right.
They're trying to make me out to be a monster. Well, you kind of are, Adam, you know? You pretty much are a monster because at this point, we know you did something to Harmony, and she's no longer with us. We're just trying to make sure we can prove it so that you can go to jail and nothing, you can't get out of it. So at this point, they need to prove that you did something to that little girl. And we're going to get there. The cops are going to get there. I tell you what, the police department, the FBI, and the community, we're not going to let you get away with it. I don't think so.
But you understand this whole thing is getting a little out of hand, would you agree?
Of course. But
So that's why,
look, this it's just the way you guys are going about it.
and again,
Yeah,
I don't
not you specifically, but
Right.
yeah, nobody comes out there like that for a second-degree assault charge. Nobody. But arrested for worse charges, they don't come out and throw fucking flashbangs at my girlfriend's car and ram us into the fucking guardrail. They don't do that. For a second-degree assault charge.
again, you understand what the charges are, right?
Second-degree assault, right?
Yep.
Okay,
There's also an endangering the welfare charge
okay.
and interference with custody. Okay,
So how did I interfere with custody?
So that paperwork that we served you the other day, you remember that?
Okay,
When they were in the alleyway, you remember outside of on Lake Ave?
yeah.
There's paperwork that you have to comply with. You understand that, right? We had that conversation, did we not? Right? So that's what that's all about.
So second-degree assault charge, what is this referring to?
Well, that's what we want to talk to you about.
Well, explain to me what, if I'm being charged with it, what the hell am I being charged with it for?
Well, your daughter had some injuries
What?
that you know about when you lived on Guilford Street.
No, I do not. What are you referring to?
Well, you were there, I wasn't, right?
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to her having some good marks.
What are you referring to?
Marks that were left on her by you.
Absolutely not. I have nothing else to say.
Like
No.
we talked about how we were worried about your daughter the other day, right?
Okay.
You remember that conversation?
I remember that conversation, but right off the rip, with the way you're approaching the conversation, you guys are completely out of line. So,
Me?
yeah.
Do I? In the time that you've known me, which
What
is
you just said to me, you guys are completely out of line.
okay, but so explain to me how are we out of line?
I have nothing to explain.
Okay, but wouldn't you rather explain it so we can make sense of it than just have other people's side of the story? Like, you want to defend yourself and like this picture people are painting of you. Now's your chance, man. Defend
Whose side of the story? Who's telling you these things?
people that were close to you.
Obviously not.
Well, maybe at the time, maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that reward on the news, right?
No, I did not.
Do you know that the reward is about $40,000 to find where your daughter is right now?
Okay.
When you start throwing money around like that, people come out of the woodwork that you would never expect to do.
Okay.
So, like I said, when I talked to you a few days ago,
Can I have another cigarette?
Sure. I kind of told you this thing was going to get a lot bigger.
That's not right.
And we wanted to get ahead of it.
But you're sitting there telling me that right off the rip that there was something wrong with my daughter because of me. No, that's bullshit.
Okay. So if your daughter had marks on her at some point when you lived over there, how would you explain those?
How would she have got those marks?
Well, I would love to know when that marks were there because DCYF came to my house multiple times.
Okay. And we know that they came there.
Right. And closed the case.
Okay. Do we know that DCYF is the flagship agency in the country?
No, but if there was significant marks like you're referring to, I believe they would have flagged something at that point, and they would have said something. They wouldn't have came there and seen that the kids were well taken care of. All the kids loved being at the house with me.
So let me tell you about what second degree assault is. There's a lot that encompasses that charge. Basically, if there's a mark on a kid that's under a certain age, it constitutes second degree assault. Although it is a felony, which sounds extremely intimidating, it doesn't mean that somebody got their head bashed in or they got cut up or whatever. So, although it sounds pretty intimidating, the charge, I understand that. What we're talking about doesn't mean that it's the craziest crime that's ever been committed. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
So, somebody could have a bruise or a really bad welt on them, and that would constitute second degree assault for a kid under a specific age. So that's why that charge is there. So nobody is saying that you took like a baseball bat or like stabbed your kid. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. That is not what anybody's saying about you.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're concerned with when I say second degree assault, but it sounds a lot worse than I think you're thinking it is. Are we kind of on the same page?
Yeah, but for you to sit there and say that it was inflicted because of me.
We're just going on what we hear. You're not telling us how it happened, so we're going with what we have.
But I don't even know what you're referring to. What are you referring to?
Your daughter had a mark on her face that multiple people, have told us was inflicted by you.
Multiple people that weren't even living with us at the time.
Well, there was enough people that had spoken about it.
Yeah.
People share knowledge of what they know.
So somebody, you telling him, and then he tells you, and then he tells you, so something that just gets passed down the line.
I'm not talking about like a game of telephone here. I'm saying that people say a story and then the details kind of fill themselves in, like corroborate. Do you know what the word corroborate means?
Of course I do.
Okay. You're a smart guy. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but when people kind of fill in the blanks, that's what I mean by like we're corroborating that story. But this is your time to tell me, kind of explain that. You know, if you're saying this was a mistake or this was an accident.
I don't even know what you're referring to. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at, is I don't even know what you're referring to.
I'm saying she had a mark on her face.
Okay, I don't even know what you're referring to.
All he wants to do is deny. To add, I don't know how she could have gotten anything on her. I don't know anything about it. Who's telling you this stuff? Smoke a cigarette. I mean, come on, Adam. You know, we all know you did something to her. I mean, you did more than hit her. You really did. We all know it.
All right. You know what, man? Like, I don't even want to talk anymore. Like, this is just beating around the bush, man. It just seems a little too silly to me.
So as you can see, it just kind of goes on. They're trying to get him to talk, obviously. They want him to talk about, early on, all the way, through. And he's not having any of it. He starts to yank away. And I'm surprised he mentions his daughter at all. And I apologize for the language. I usually don't put any of that kind of stuff here on the channel. But it is on the interrogation interview. So let me get us up to date with what the judge had to say about the body cam footage and this interview being allowed at Adam's trial.
The defense team was hoping to keep the contents of a cell phone out of an upcoming trial, arguing it was seized illegally without a warrant. The phone was taken on December 31st, 2021, as police were questioning Adam Montgomery about his missing daughter, Harmony. In denying the defense motion, the judge noted it was reasonable to think there was information relating to the investigation on the phone, adding, "Moreover, as noted by the state, data on a phone is easily removed, and the phone itself is easily destroyed or otherwise disposed of, and it could disappear before a warrant could be obtained." During that encounter, the defense also claims that police violated Montgomery's rights by questioning him after he said, "I am not answering any questions." But the judge found those prior questions did not constitute an interrogation. However, when a detective told Montgomery, "I think you need to do the right thing," that did cross the line, and any statements made after that will not be allowed. The final ruling has to do with a taped interview Montgomery had with police back on January 4th. That interview was recorded. Again, the judge said the first 21 minutes and 44 seconds can be used. But when Montgomery says, "No, I get what you're saying, I just got nothing else to say, man," that constituted Montgomery invoking his right to remain silent, and anything after that must be suppressed.
So, a lot of the evidence has been allowed in, according to the judge, for his upcoming trial. However, once he stated, after they said that I think you need to do the right thing. After that, about a little less than 22 minutes, pretty much from there on in is not going to be allowed at his trial. So for the most part, the state did win on this one, but you're losing part of the interview / interrogation, and I just showed bits and pieces of it from the first part, and again, you can watch the entire first part and second part on YouTube. I'll include the links for that here as well. So in 2 weeks, there'll be jury selection for Adam Montgomery's trial, and then the trial will begin. So I'll definitely be covering it here on the channel, and so stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated on this one. Even though it's not exactly related to Harmony, it has to do with hopefully keeping him behind bars, and hopefully they'll get some evidence at some point. I don't think either him or Kayla's talking, and like she said, she's his ride or die. So I don't know. They got a bond of some kind, beyond marriage there. So yep. All right, y'all, so that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you liked it, please hit that thumbs up on your way out, and always leave any comments if you have any thoughts on this case. And with that said and done, I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend if you're watching this on the weekend. And most of all, stay safe.